Listen.
Hi, everybody. I'm hoping you can all see me. If everybody can just let me know that you can actually see me. Yeah, Ginger, it started. I'm just, right, you can see. Great. Okay, here we are today. Thank you for everybody who's here. There's so many people. We've had a glitch. Des is being the co-host. I'll just pause the music for
I'm not
now.
supposed to be here.
He's meant to be introducing me and being able to answer all your questions and what's happening. Anyway, it's absolutely delightful. There's so many of you here, which is really great. Some of you I know had a few glitches in getting registered. What was that? Hi, Bing, not Des. Oh, yeah. Des is here. For those of you who don't know who this is my beautiful life partner, business partner, the man who helps me do all of this. And just so you know, whether you can have long-lasting relationships, on Thursday we will have been together 32 years. So it's a week for celebrating my first real webinar with this, on this beautiful topic that so many of you have asked me about. So thank you. I'm just checking here. Sorry, I've just got a problem. Can you resend the host email? I did. And he still hasn't got it.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to get Des as the host, so I'm talking to the support. So what we're going to do now, we're going to press on, and I'll just, hold on. Oh, they're open. There might be, I'm just going to say there might be a few little glitches, but here we've got, let's see. You were a bit glitzy. What do you mean, Stephanie? It's our internet's fine, so I'm not sure that.
See if anybody else can.
Oh, good. I can see and hear you. Okay, thank you, Margie. Blurry. Can't do. No, I think that's your end. All right. Oh, but you are good now. Right. Yeah. Okay. I don't know how to deal with this guy. Right. Because he's sending me messages.
You can't wait, darling. You just got to keep going.
All right. Okay.
People waiting.
Yeah. Right. How do
just have to ignore the help. It's too late.
I can't get the slides up.
There you go.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, it looks like we might be doing slides. I don't know why the slides won't go. We tested all of this yesterday.
They can see the slides.
Okay. Can people see the slides? Looks like we're going to be doing a very interesting webinar. Yeah? Yes. Everybody can see the slides, right? Okay. So that's great. That's all very good. I'm just going to stick here.
No, just
okay.
Say you can't waste time.
All right. No. Okay.
Just
thanks. Right. Okay. Right. So we're going to be doing a different sort of webinar today. So this webinar is about how to create your own Oracle or inspirational card deck. There are many of you here, particularly Victoria, who I saw on earlier, who's been asking me for a long while how you can make your own Oracle card deck. So I've put together how I've worked to get my own Oracle cards together. And this is an information session today. I'm going to be sharing with you at the end a way that you can step onto the next creative step of building your deck in a workshop. And I'll be sharing that with you at the end. And yes, the webinar is being recorded, Marissa, and everybody who's registered will get a replay link immediately after the webinar. It's part of the system. So that's one thing I don't have to download and upload. Now, I've got a problem here. Here we go. Right, okay. Des was going to be doing all of this, not me. So, are you going to introduce me?
Yes, I shall introduce
Des is going to introduce me. He was going to be the co-host.
Yes.
And that hasn't quite worked out.
Well, I'm being the co-host, but just not in a remote location.
There you go.
So Suzie works in the self-love and creative leadership industry. She's an award-winning artist who's exhibited and sold her artwork in galleries and collections around the world. She's worked with several seven-figure income leaders, expanding their creative prowess. And she's the creator of the Heart Whisper Daily Guidance Oracle cards, which have been dubbed the Entrepreneur's Essential Toolkit. Suzie works with leaders and entrepreneurs who don't have time or space for their creative expression and would like to change that but don't know where to start. Suzie shows them a way to open their creative heart and discover previously hidden abilities, thereby increasing their productivity, profitability, self-awareness, and intuition. At a more profound, transformative level, this contributes hugely to their becoming a fuller version of themselves. What Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs is called self-actualization, the pyramid. Through hands-on workshops, in person or virtual, Suzie guides them to tap into their intuition and create their own artwork from the heart, not the head. Right now, Suzie's special focus is on using her knowledge and skills to help leaders open up to their creative capability, because one thing I think we'd all agree the world needs in these challenging times is an abundance of creative leadership. Suzie, over to you.
Thank you, Des. Some of you might think, that's not Suzie I know. So it's a little bit of change of direction for me at the moment, because I am working with leaders and entrepreneurs on opening their creative hearts. And I'm going to be bringing some of that to this course as well, because one of the things people often say is, when I ask people at workshops, what does creative mean to you? And I sometimes get, I'm not creative. I haven't got a creative bone in my body. So that's the change there. A little bit more about me. Some of you have known me for a long while. I've been known as the Abundance Queen, the Heart Whisperer. I am an intuitive artist. And for those of you who don't know, I had a textile art business for about 15 years. And this is really important for all of you here today. When I was 12, I was told I couldn't draw. So I wasn't allowed to do art at high school. But I thought it was very interesting that I went on to become an artist. I initially trained as a preschool teacher, and then I taught childcare students. So a lot of that creativity started from when I first went to college, when I was 17. Then I had a textile business, which came about because I didn't get a job. I'd been acting in what some of you know as TAFE, which is a college where I trained childcare workers and designed all the creative processes. And then so I set up this business and went on. And then about, 10 years ago, a bit longer than that, 2008 it was, I think, I came online because Des was passionate about being online. I've got lots of trainings and things like that. My passion is, though, with this is to open everybody's hearts and to colour the world. But I have these other skills today that support me in helping people grow, become more abundant, develop their law of attraction skills. And one of the things today, we're going to be doing a visioning exercise. And so many years ago when 11 years ago, I trained with Joyce Schwartz, who I met, who wrote the book called The Vision Board. The Vision Board book, some of you may have it. So we're going to tap into your vision for what you might want for your cards as well. Those of you who know I'm passionate about self-love. I do readings. I now speak and I'm speaking a lot more on virtual stages at the moment, and recently on a physical stage here doing a creative workshop. The healer. The healer brings us back to these cards, and why I'm here today talking with you about these cards that I made that became part of my healing journey when I had a near-death experience and my kidneys stopped functioning about 9 years ago. So I will go more into that story as we go on. And this is a bit more about me. I love to travel, which of course we can't do at the moment. I like having fun. As some of you know, I go to the beach most days, but I really like helping people achieve their dreams and adding more color to your life. And by untapping your creative heart and maybe making your own deck of, these don't have to be oracle cards, they can be inspirational cards, wisdom cards, affirmation cards. I'm going to show you some examples of that as we go through. And you'll see underneath there is a space for questions. Keep your questions to a question time. And if I don't get to answer them all today, I will be doing it in the group. So you've come here today to discover how and if you want to create your own deck and why you might want to. So I suppose, why did I create the Heart Whisper Daily Guidance Oracle deck? So back in 2002, I was told that Doreen Virtue was going to be in town. In Brisbane, we were still living in Sydney, and said, you should go along. Well, I had never thought about, I think the only cards I had, my finger, right. The only cards I had at that stage were these little cards from Louise Hay. These, I don't know when these first came, these back in 1989, Louise Hay brought out these little cards, which are self-love affirmation cards. I claim my power and lovingly create my own reality. So there were those cards that came about, and they're very small, and you can put those in your wallet or whatever else. And I don't think they even came in a box or anything like that. There's another one. I am beautiful and everyone loves me. So they're little so that's one's there. The other cards I had were some of Louise Hay's other things here about, I think these were the manifestation cards. I'm open and receptive to avenues of income. So and they were the only cards that I had. So I went off to train. I went and listened to her, and I also discovered I was an earth angel. And I bought 3 decks of cards. When I did my training, I did a 3-day angel intuitive training in Sydney with Doreen back in 2002. And I know some people say maybe I shouldn't reference Doreen Virtue, but that was the stage in her life she was at, and she created all these amazing decks that people still use today, but everybody moves in different progressions. So these were the very first ones I bought, which were Healing with the Angels. And they're really relevant, and I'll share that with you in a minute. And I bought Messages from the Angels, and I bought Mermaids and Dolphins. I think these were my favorite cards. They're very worn. So I have lots of decks of cards, and now I rarely use any of them. I use a crystal deck occasionally, because then when I was using, where are we? Healing, right? The Healing from Your Angels cards, I used in hospital every day. And at home, I would draw 3 cards. I would meditate. I would draw 3 cards, and then I would journal. And from that, I thought, oh, I got more and more interested. I bought more and more decks of cards, but I used them to heal. And while I was, I haven't got it. While I was recovering, I started painting hearts. And I did a day 45 hearts. And from there, I went into some of you know this, I painted for 1 year 365 hearts. I started a challenge to paint a day, and I decided to paint 1 heart for 30 days, and then 30 became 60, and I thought 90, and then it went on. And many of the cards that you see here have come from those paintings. And I'm sorry, I thought I had the book here and I haven't. Anyway, I'll share that in the group. So why did I make my own cards? Why did I want to make my own cards? It's a question I ask of you. Is I have all these different decks. I have all these different decks of cards. Right. So these are some of the types of cards that you can make. So I've got here, think about the cards you've got too, what it is you love about them or you don't love about them. This is, I can't think of the name. A friend of mine lent me these cards recently. I thought, oh, they're really nice. They've got a heart on them. But they didn't speak to me, which is amazing because they're called the power of love. Then you can just have, for those of you who are not creative, look at this. Simple little strokes of colour. You're an inspiration. These are motivational cards with just a background. So you just need one image. So I have one image on the back of these cards. But some cards, the law of attraction cards, for example, some of you know these, the Jerry Hicks cards. Some of these cards, these are a picture. I use the law of creation deliberately. And then on the back is a meaning for that. There are the regular cards, which most of you probably have. There is a deck of cards I want to show you. Some of you probably know her, Colette Baron Reid, who has a lot of cards now. And one of her, these, I have to tell you, there's a story with these cards. One Saturday morning, I said to Des, this is before I made my own cards, I think I'd like another deck of cards. And we were going to the Tweed Hospital Fete. And we supported that because they have been so good to me. And I walked over and I saw this deck of cards. I think it had $2 on it. It was a brand new deck. So I sort of thought, manifestation definitely at work. And these cards I love. And these are the traditional cards that most of you know. That come with a guidebook, that have the same picture on the back, and then have, this one is the Eagle King, have the picture with a few words on the top. So when I was making mine, I wanted to just have pictures. I was just going to have a picture. And so when you drew it, you would tap into your heart, which is I still ask a lot of you to do. And then I asked the crowd, because I did pre-ordering and things like that. And people said, oh no, you've got to have more than one word, Suzie. And that was how these came. Now, how I made these cards was I chose the paintings from all my probably 500 paintings I had. I chose the paintings, and then from the paintings, I channeled the words and the messages. that are on these. So this is sort of the Oracle deck. And just to tap in for you, for those of you who may be thinking, oh, I want to make a tarot deck, this is not the right webinar for you. I'm not a tarot person. I did used to have a deck of cards, but tarot is a system that you learn so that you learn to read the tarot. And hold on, what's happened here? Oh no. So I'm sorry, this keeps, I'm sorry, my screen keeps moving. I can't keep my screen at the top. Can anybody still see me? Oh, I can't see the slides and I can't see myself. Hold on. I'll see if I can hold it up here. There we go. I'm sorry about that. I will re-record this so that it's all in sequence. Yeah, so that's what I did. I just wanted Sydney, who's a big fan of mine, she lost her first deck. She left them in a hotel somewhere, I think. So she had to order another deck. She just said, the paintings are so amazing. I just did 14 consecutive readings on the 31st and everyone was spot on. So I'll diverse a bit. Why you would have your own cards with your own messages is, what people say is, my energy is in these cards. And I have people who buy the cards and say, can you do a reading for me first? So I do the reading and then I post the cards out. So what I'm going to be sharing with you, if you choose to move forward with the workshop, is how, even if you haven't got a creative bone in your body, you could make, see this one here, you could make a deck of cards like this, that you, with working with me, will learn how to create an image like that you can use as a background, or you might want to create something that you use there. Some of you I know are artists and will have a stack of paintings there, like Pat does. I know, I don't know whether, is Suzanne on? Can't see whether Suzanne's on or not. A friend of mine who does big, bright paintings. So some of you might have things that you can do, but what this will do is this will bring out, your creative self. And just before I move on, so this is another deck of cards, and this is another interesting way of doing it. These were sent to me when I was sick, and they're called Fun, Happiness and Laughter. And so they're inspirational cards for children and adults. And there's no rule about, this has got 35 cards. My deck has 38 cards plus 4 information cards. Now there's a challenge with this box. You can see, very hard to get the cards out. But look how simple this is. I know, I'm not sure whether Frances is on. She said, I can't draw. But, there's lots of things you can do here. Okay, so she's taken balloons, and then there's just one word on these cards. And cards come in all different sizes as well. And if somebody asks, why are mine smaller than these? So these are the standard size cards you get. This is smaller because they're easier to shuffle. So then you've got, so these are just fun cards here. Laughter. So there's those sort of cards. That's what I was showing you. Oh, I want to show you these. These are called inquiry cards. And look. So big inquiry, these are questioning cards. This is an interesting thing, questions you can ask yourself every day. You could do 30 cards or 31 cards, and you could maybe do separate 12 for a month. It's just giving me lots of ideas. So what do I need? And then these on the back have inquiry. And something I'd always advise people, and then it has the website in very fine letters at the bottom, which I haven't done on my cards. What is my intention? What is my intention? And of course, something like this that is more complex in shape, of course, will be much more expensive to print because it's going to use more paper and things like that. So they're things. Oh, you are on, Francis. Great. And this is, I don't actually have any round cards at the moment. But yes, so sometimes people do round cards, or I've seen round mandala cards as well. Now, these cards here are from a friend of mine called Joanna Hunter, who wrote a book called Get Selfish. And she then, you can see the back of the card is, this is what they all have. And they're affirmations. And then on the other side, she's used digital art. So that's something I haven't mentioned as well. Digital art is another way. You could do a lot of things in Canva because they have different images and backgrounds. But as long as it's something that speaks to you. So, so that's there. And I think I have lots and lots of cards here, but oh no, I did want to show you one more. These I picked up in Las Vegas once, so I've had them for a long while because we haven't been overseas since 2000, late 2008. And these are crystal cards. So you can use these the same. If you don't have crystals, you can use the cards. This is malachite, and then on the back it has here on the front it has the keywords, what the stone is, what it means, how available it is, and over here different meanings. And this comes in this was another box that they put too many cards in. You have to be really careful with boxes there. And goes back there. Okay. Yeah, so that's digital is something I hadn't mentioned before, but there is a lot of things we can do. And now we have access to things like Canva, and just the free version of Canva you can do so much on as well. I made all these slides on Canva. Right, so what we're going to do now before we move forward, we're going to look at, you need to get clarity on your why. Why would you want to make a set of cards? You might want to make a set of cards just for you to use. You might just want to, have a deck of cards you use every day that are a reflection from your heart. You don't have to make cards to sell. But what we're going to do now, we're going to help you get a picture or a sense of what type of cards you want to make. And I forgot to mention this before, but hopefully everybody on has got a pen, paper, your mobile phone or that, just to journal anything that comes up afterwards. So everybody just get very still, feet on the ground. And take in a deep breath. Just to get centered. Ground yourself. And you can put your hands on your heart or in your lap, on the chair, wherever feels comfortable for you. And I want you just now to see yourself in a beautiful golden bubble. This is protecting you, and this is going to help you open your heart and your soul and your mind to the vision that you're going to create. I want you to think of maybe your favourite deck of oracle cards. What is it you like about them? What's maybe a question you ask? Oh, I'd really love if I had a card that. About what might come up for you. What might be the purpose of these cards? Is it for you to tap into your intuition? Because this is one thing that oracle cards can do for you. So one thing that I would say I learnt from Doreen Virtue, that the more I use these cards, the more I learned to trust my own intuition. And that was the purpose I made those cards, as well as helping people really love themselves and be positive each day. Is there a message? Maybe you want to make just a deck of inspirational cards, or just cards with one word on them. Now see if you can see maybe the shape you'd like them to be, the colour you'd like them to be. See if you can get a sense of that or a feeling. I'd like to just see there's a screen in front of you. It's blank and it's white. And you're going to put yourself up there. And now you're looking at maybe the colours that you're choosing. See yourself maybe shuffling these cards each morning or in the evening. If you want to make cards, sometimes people make cards that they don't sell, but they use with their clients. Think of some of the ways that you might use those cards. Do you want them to sell? And you can tap into your heart. Your heart will know what the purpose of these cards will be. And now just see, maybe there's 10, 20, 30, and you're just seeing all these cards float in front of you. And this is just helping you to get more clarity on this journey. You might have words popping up. Might be affirmation, might be wisdom, might be love, abundance. You might already have the sort of image that you would like. And just focus on, maybe there's one particular colour or image or word that's standing right in front of you now as you're looking at the screen. Just remember what that is. And when this finishes, just get out your journal or your phone and just jot down any of those things that have come up. And look at yourself. Are you smiling? Are you thinking, wow, this is going to be fun. I'm really going to have fun making this. Or maybe you're still feeling, oh, I'm sure this is not for me. And that's okay too. When you're ready, just let the screen go blank. And if you're still haven't got any clarity or are not sure, you can come back and re-listen to this and put yourself back up on that screen. Maybe as you write, you'll get more clarity as well. And just see your heart smiling. Smile on your face. Take in a deep breath. And when you're ready, just open your eyes. Right. So if anybody wants to put anything in the comments, I'll just give you a few minutes just to jot down a few maybe words, images, ideas that came to you during the visualization meditation. So I'm asking why. Some of you have talked to me about, I want to get an artist to do this. A lot of people just suggest you use, I've looked at a couple of courses that I've found, and people just said, I would just use clip art. Sydney says, upright pentagram, the back is definitely purple. Claudine says, lots of colours in nature. Now, there's one thing, some of you might be amazing photographers and you might want to capture, Claudine, this has come up for me with Claudine. So you might be capturing images in nature. I'm just looking out here now where I've got lots of greenery in different colours and things, and that could be quite fascinating. So I hadn't actually written down photography, but that's something, and for somebody like Frances, that might be wonderful. Claudine, I can think of lots of ideas for you with that, particularly as you said, nature. So there's lots of things. Why am I saying no clip art? Why am I saying not use another artist? Well, what I want this, the training and things and the workshops I'm going to do is to help you expand more into who you are, and this can help you cement the message you have for yourself or for the world as well. And what you have, and probably why I use these every day, and thinking of Sydney, who probably uses them every day, and she does a lot of readings and uses these with clients, is when you do it, this, oh, look at that. Frances, this is really exciting. Fireworks on the back, inspirational methods for others about public speaking. That's her speciality. So yes, there's going to be so much more. We'll expand on this, but there's some wonderful ideas here. That's right. Des is saying your creativity is already flowing, which is wonderful. And so this is a sample of what we're going to be doing. So we get really clear before we start. But we'll play as well along with getting started and putting your decks together. I'm so excited for Frances because when I first asked who wanted to do this, she said, I want to do it, but, I'm not at all creative. And I said to her, I'm going to show you a way that you can do that. And I can even see how you can make your own fireworks background as well. So that's wonderful. It's very exciting. All right. Yeah, so Claudine, yes, but we can help you do that as well. Your ideas, photography is another form of creativity. So Des was going to tell you a story, but because for some reason, next time I'm setting this up, I will make him the co-host and you'll see both of us up there when we come. Right, so what you're doing here is, what I've done with these cards is I'm just thinking of, some of you know, I work with Bobby F. Paraha, who does a numerologist, and we do a show once a month. And he has my cards, and he always has them there. And he just feels, and he's somebody I did a reading with before he bought the cards, or when he was buying the cards, actually. And as he says, they're always, he feels the energy that's come, that I've instilled in through these paintings. And so there's part of me coming onto the table. So Des has got the analogy about cooking. So this is he came up with this last night. So you invite all your friends to dinner. And those of you know, I love cooking. You invite your friends to dinner, but you go and order Uber or you get takeaway. So there's nothing that's coming from your heart. So for me, when I'm sharing food, it's people bringing food together, or it's me sharing that out. So I thought that was a very interesting analogy. If you feel that you want to, so you've put your deck of cards together here. Oh, and I'll talk about why I don't do guidebooks as well. So you put so you've got here your beautiful cards. These are from a mentor of mine, Sonia Choquette, who was very much part of my healing journey as well. And these are called Ask Your Guides. So they come they have the same picture on the back, and they have here, right, invention. And it talks about different sorts of guides. That's a creativity guide. And there's a master teacher. So I would be looking into this picture and thinking, I'll be listening to my heart. My hands are looking as though they're reaching down a new pathway. And I would write something on that. But a lot of people will just go to the book. They'll go to the book, have to find these ones don't have numbers on them, so you've got to really search through because they're not in order. But this is my reason why I don't have a guidebook. I have some suggested ideas on how you can use the cards. But once you're starting to read into here on the guidebook, I believe you're stepping away from that creativity, from the creativity of your own heart. And it's not once you're starting to read something else, sometimes it can be really good for reinforcement. But as you're starting to do that, you're not really tapping into your heart or your intuition. Because one of the things I believe that my cards and some other people's cards do is to really expand the trusting of your intuition. Right, so. All right, thank you, Des. Claudine says, I'd love to create my own. Oh, right, that's good. And you can Google and you'll get some ideas from other people as well. There's quite a lot of manifestation cards out there. And I've got some that I'll actually share. I'll drop a link in. No, I'll send you all an email and I'll just give you a sheet that's got about 10 cards on it that are my abundance aspiration things. You can turn them into little cards or whatever else. So I will share those with you. Just as another way that I did using, I played with my own art in a digital way and I just put words on them. and I've never turned them into cards as yet. So that's why I believe it's very important to do that. So some of you will have some questions, and you can drop them in here, or you can drop them in the event page and I'll come back to them. But these are some questions to ask yourself when you've decided, yes. I mean, I don't know how do we have a raised hand? Right. Oh, let's see. I'll just see if I'm going to create a poll. Okay. Have you decided that you would like to create your own deck? And it doesn't have to be Oracle, it can be whatever deck. I'm learning this new system. Let's see. So I'm just going to put a poll up. And right now, so put a poll, but how? I'm not sure. I will run this again. I'm thinking of calling my card Freedom to Be. I think you mean be, not you. No. Oh, Freedom to Be You. I've got it. Yeah, I've got it. Sorry, I didn't. Yeah, I've got it. I understand now, Stephanie. That's fantastic. I love that. Yeah, so I will actually. All right. Well, we've got 2 people saying yes. Right. Well, right. Oh, sorry, Pat. Great, Francis. Hi, Marissa. Yes. Right. Okay. So we've got people who would who do want to make cards. So yeah, this would be good to journal after this. How will you use them? What do I love about the cards that you use now? What's missing? And probably the most important question, am I really ready to tap into my creativity and share from my heart? Because, I'll speak easy notes. You're coming up with some wonderful ideas. Now, does anybody have, all right, thank you, Marissa. Great. Does anybody have any questions they would like answered? All right. So, Marissa, do you have any of your own cards, but you would like to make cards? I assume that's what that means. Does anybody here have any questions? Or I don't think anybody's put any questions. Yeah, right. Okay. Would you like to? I think it's the question you need to ask yourself. And the genie is out of the bottle now. That's wonderful, Francis. So that's in Marissa. I might send you a message after to say, because one of the things is I haven't done this, but I mean, we talk about how to use cards, but we could do a workshop on how to use cards and why we use cards. You know, I've used cards to heal. I use cards to inspire. So from that is really what the reason to do this. But some people will have other reasons. So are there any other questions that people would like? No? Okay. So what's next? What's next is a fun in, right, that's it. The use cards are great for contemplation and meditating, as this one is about compassion for yourself. Yeah. Sydney says, I use the cards to inspire and to harness the energies working for me. Brilliant. Francis uses my cards every day to set the tone for every day. I mean, that is beautiful. I'm going to share put some of these comments and put them up on the screen for when I redo this. That's great. So what's next is a fun, informative, experiential. So it's doing. You're going to be initially doing some creativity to get into that flow and maybe to create what you would like to be doing, putting out to the world. And I'll be showing you a really simple way to do this. It's for those who are ready to tap into their creativity and share from the heart. The first part of the workshop will be on ways that you can create from your heart. And no, you don't have to be an artist. But the people who are artists here can take work that they've got and look how that would fit into a series or a deck, depending on what you choose to do. So it's really important to know. So when I did this, because I'd been called the Heart Whisperer, and these cards were about the heart, and it has been very interesting that entrepreneurs who forget to love themselves find these cards, a bit like Francis uses them, great to set the tone for the day, and it also helps you improve your self-love as well. So it's for who it's for: those who want to untap their creative heart, those who yearn to make their own deck. Sorry, I typo there. And you're open to being guided, and that's guided by me for your creativity and expanding your intuition, but really being guided from within. And for those people who think, oh, like I've already had two people here, Francis and no, that's fine. That's what it was about. You want to make your own cards. Francis, sorry, somebody up here. Claudine says she's not creative. So I'm going to help people just tap into that creativity. I'll just give you an example. Somebody the other day I did a workshop with, and they don't think they've got a creative bone in their body, and they just make mud. And she was up here. But doing the workshop, I was just saying, I just said to her, stop. Now just take the colours, take the paint. She has created a painting. Some of you might have seen it on my wall, which she now has framed and has hung in her bedroom. So from saying, basically didn't even want to do the workshop, to finding part of her that also helped her have a lot higher self-worth about her own creativity. So that was really important. It's not for those who want a cookie cutter solution, who want to outsource the creative process, or want a done for you solution. So, so what you're going to learn in the workshop is the ways that you, after you've decided what you want, no, before some of you will be deciding what you really want to do, we're going to play. We're going to play with how you would create imagery for your cards, back of your cards, front of your cards, and we'll be looking at really choosing that purpose. So this will be a first workshop, and because it is the first one, it would normally be $97, but today it is, we've got, steak knives, whatever else, it's $47. It'll be probably between 90 and probably leading up to a 2-hour workshop. It will be depending on how many people choose to do this, it will be in a Zoom room where I'll be at my art table and doing things, and you'll be able to do this at a desk. You don't need a lot of tools. You'll be getting a list of what you need to do. And because it's on Zoom, you'll be able to ask me questions and whatever else. So this is the, let's see, I've just clicked the offer button. I don't know whether has it gone up. Oh, it's not showing. Oh, weird. Right. I'm sorry about this. Creative. So this is for the creativity workshop, and it's just a PayPal link. Oh, Marissa, it's $47. It's $47. I've just got to get this down to show the offer. So just have a link now. Yes. No, I don't have a date. It's here. It's the link is there. Oh, that's okay. Hold on. I'll just see whether I can do this now. That will be the next, right. So I'll explain what's going to happen now. Right. Sorry about this. Right. So, all right. Okay. There's a saying I've done. Right. Let's see. It should work there now. Okay. That should be showing now. Yeah, 47 US. Yes. I'm posting it again, Des. Right. So what's happened? This is going to be, I don't know, it depends, up to you how far you get, but I'm looking at sort of 90 to sort of 120 minute, you know, an hour and a half to 2 hour workshop with me in a Zoom room. Now, if there, I probably want to do it in about $64, Stephanie. I think $67 or something it was when I looked last night. So that's what we're going to do first, and then from that workshop, I will I can offer another small workshop for people who want to put there's a lot. Well, I'm going to share this. There's a lot of work in putting your deck together. You can make it simple. And yes, I will share different ways, different places you can get your cards printed. And yeah, different places you can get your cards printed. How to, you know, I chose not to have a box, and I chose to have see-through bags. I'm still investigating the boxes, but one of the things I'd say with once you add a box on, you add a lot more cost to the printing. But if you're just doing it, I've got about 10 different places that you can choose to get your cards printed, whether you want them print on demand, you just want a set for you. And yes, I use a local printer in Queensland because you need to look at the quality. You need to look at the quality of the cards that you're getting. And somebody who signed up, who's not here, the first person who got my cards was Yantra Linden, and if you see her testimonial, they were so smooth. They're like silk. So you need to look at how you want the cards to feel. These are another sort of cards, and they're very glossy and very shiny. Right. So this, I think, is the link working now? The link is working now, I think. I should click on it. I'll just check it is working. You will get a replay of this, and because of why is it? Yeah, it's fine. It's working with the dot. You will get the replay, will come out. In the event page, I will put any questions in you have. And I'm just waiting to see how many people sign up, because I don't want to do it in a group of more than 8 people, preferably 6. So if I get 12 people, there will be 2 different workshops, and I will do them in the next, it won't be this week, but it would be next week. And I will send out to you, those of you who have who sign up, you'll get an email. So because I've got people from Europe, people from North America, and people from Australia. So I would like to be able to sort out, so that it's not crazy time zones for people that they have to get up in the middle of the night or something like that. Okay, so that's it. From there, if nobody has any more questions, I want to thank you all for being here and being very patient with me on this new platform that we're using. And I can't believe we did this practice yesterday, but anyway, that's it. I want to thank you all so much for being here. It's been an absolute delight, and I'm really happy to share my information with you. And if you have some other questions, just drop them in the event page, and I will answer those during the day. Yeah. Oh, that's right. And so with Sydney, yes, you will be getting that. Lots of things for that with another. So there'll be 2 workshops. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to helping all of you untap that creativity and really share, because this is what this is doing. This shares your message with the world. Everybody have a beautiful day. Remember, love yourself into abundance. Namaste.